Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Curator Within. I'm Julie, your guide and reminder to just look within because your path is yours and your path is personal. This is where we dive into deep conversation and discuss practical tools to help you curate a life that you love and enjoy. If you see anything moving behind me, it's little baby here. She did not want to move today, so who am I to tell her what to do? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about Dolly Parton. And I'm not sad that she's gone. And I wanted to share a new perspective on that. I am so grateful that Dolly existed. And I want to talk about just who Dolly was as a person, the lessons that she's imparted on us. And at the end, I'm going to talk a little bit about a journal prompt that we can do to become more like Dolly and harness our inner Dolly energy. Today, I actually put on some blue eyeshadow because naturally I was watching interviews about Dolly and I was just completely enamored in who she was as a person and the energy that she brought to this world. And she had blue eyeshadow on in one of the interviews. And so I thought that was great, and I popped my hair up and I put on a nice little sequin dress. So this kind of all came together for Dolly. And I just want to talk about the fact that in society, we tend to put these people on a pedestal and like, oh, they're so good and we could never be that. A lot of religions do that in terms of Jesus. And it's always putting someone else on a pedestal and feeling unworthy and feeling like you can't create that in your own life. And I do truly believe that we have the power to create in our own lives. And if you believe in God, the universe, source, energy, whatever it is, they gave us that power to experience this world the way that it is. I do have my notebook here because I want to read off the things that I find so beautiful about Dolly. And the thing is, she was such a beautiful, bright light in this world because she was the truest expression of herself. She was herself, and that looks different for everyone, and people can shine for different reasons. But she truly was just a human being expressing themselves. She didn't claim to be perfect. She didn't claim to have it all together. She was just living authentically as herself and loving people along the way. So, Dolly life lessons. Don't dim your shine. Set boundaries. Always be honest. Think the best of people and allow them to show you the best in them. Have a dream and believe it. That's the key, and believe it. You get to decide who you want to be, and you can choose joy and do what you love. And most importantly, be the expert of you. These are the things that Dolly has taught me. And she does say, give all glory to God, and then she can reap the benefits. So I think it is important to have a connection to a higher power, whatever that means for you. I'm of the belief that if you believe something is for you, then it is for you. And it can look completely different than what is for me in my life, in my expression. And that's what it means to be authentic. And that's what it means to be the full expression of you, is just sharing who you are and allowing that to be you, even if it's totally different than another person, but also respecting that other person and let them know that it's okay to be exactly who they are. So, showing ourselves self love and compassion and sharing that with others, I think is so powerful. So, where can you start? What did Dolly do? Dolly was radically honest with the people in her life. And she set boundaries and she spoke up when people mistreated her. When things didn't feel right, she made sure that she was honest and true. And this doesn't mean that she did this 100% of the time, but it means she actively chose this. And she said this in interviews. She chose joy even when it was hard or when she was stressed. She chose to be the happy person in the room. She chose to love people. And I think it is so important to remember that love is a choice. Love is a choice in every day. Love is a choice in every moment. And even in our relationship, she was with her husband for around 60 years, and she chose love every day. When you're in a relationship, romantic or not, you have to choose love. There's going to be days where that person frustrates you. There's going to be days where you just feel like you don't know what's happening anymore. And you have to choose to love them through it, because we are all changing and growing on this journey of life. And we can choose to love people through it instead of forcing or controlling or fearing the future. Dolly was fearless in the pursuit of her dreams, and she actually believed that they were going to happen. From a very young age, Dolly believed in herself and she knew what she wanted to do, and she went after that. And that is what gave her the ability to do it. And I bet you're learning this now. If you've seen this video, you're learning this now, that what you're thinking and what you're believing is ultimately creating your reality. So Dolly had this amazing dream from a very young age, and you could have had a dream from a very young age, but maybe you told yourself that you couldn't have it, and maybe you still want it, but your belief is that you cannot have it. And I'm here to tell you, let yourself have it. What is the harm in believing in yourself? Dolly talked about a time where, when she graduated high school, she told everyone that her plan was to go be a big star in Nashville. And she said everyone laughed at her. Students laughed at her, parents laughed at her, because it was such a big dream. And she said at the time it stung a little bit, but she didn't let it stop her from continuing her passion and just continuing to shine as brightly as she did. She found joy in the hard moments, and she most definitely laughed often. If you see Dolly, she always had a smile on her face. She was always giggling about something, and she made things a little bit more lighthearted. She even talked about stories from her childhood. She loved her mom and she was a lot like her, but she even said her mom would talk about these stories and all of these bad things that would happen. And she's just like, I just don't take life that seriously. And that's something that I'm learning. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty serious. I feel like I'm serious um about the right things sometimes though, but other times, like, I need to remember that, like, this is really all a game and it doesn't matter, and I can laugh about it and I can laugh about myself. But I think the biggest lesson that Dolly has shared with our world is you have to be the expert of you. She knew herself through and through. She knew what she believed in this world, she knew what she would accept from this world, and she held her ground. She held her boundaries, and she didn't accept anything less for herself. So I think that that is just really freaking cool. And I love Dolly Parton. And I'm sure a lot of you do, that clicked on this video and are like, what is this girl talking about? I'm sad. Like, I even heard someone say, oh my gosh, like, why am I living anymore if Dolly's not here? And it's like, Dolly would absolutely not want us to have that mentality. Dolly would want us to be the fullest expression of ourselves. Dolly would want us to be happy. So, what I'm asking you today is, what is stopping you from harnessing your inner Dolly? We can all be more like Dolly. We can all embody these things. And in order to embody something, you really have to believe you deserve it. And I believe you do. I believe you do deserve to harness your inner Dolly and live your best life. And that doesn't have to look like Dolly's life. Remember that. You don't have to be on stages performing for people and doing all of those things. You can literally just be happy in your day to day life, caring for your family, going to your job, just living in the full presence and essence that is you. And I want you to remember that it doesn't have to look like this big picture, this huge dream that a lot of people sell online. It doesn't have to look like that. It can just be you are happy with yourself. It could just be you felt like crap about yourself for a really long time and you're tired of being mean to yourself. Sometimes we have to get so tired of ourselves to change. And if you are feeling like that, if you are feeling stuck in any way, I just want to let you know you are not alone. I've felt it too. Every single person, whether they want to admit it or not, has felt like that at some point in their life. Even Dolly. Even Dolly has had hard times. Even Dolly has been through bouts of depression. Even Dolly has struggled with her thoughts and with her mind, but she came back to choosing herself and believing in herself. I want to leave you with a journal prompt today. And before that, I want to say Dolly did not have it all figured out, and you don't have to have it all figured out. So here's the journal prompt. What is holding me back from being the truest expression of myself? And as an added bonus, I would love for you to leave in the comments what piece of Dolly that you loved that you're going to take into your future, that you're going to enact in your life, because she would want us to remember her. She would want us to celebrate her. She would say, get off your butt and stop being sad. And I can relate to Dolly a lot in just the fact that, like, I was a hairdresser for a really long time, and people underestimate you when you are in that world. And people underestimated Dolly, but she was a very, very intelligent woman. She was a very powerful woman, and she knew exactly what she was doing. Even in the part that she was playing as Dolly, she knew exactly what she was doing, and so do you. Start writing, start figuring it out. I'll share what I'm releasing is my fear of being seen, my fear of being misunderstood. I've always had a lot to say, and I'm so grateful to be here rambling with you now. I've always had a lot to say, but there have been more times than I could count, and most of my life where I've just been too scared to say it. So I'm releasing that. I am a good person. I'm an honest person. I speak from my heart. And that's what Dolly was doing too, in her honesty. She was speaking from her heart and what was true for her. So I'm releasing that. And I am making it a point to get more dolled up because I used to love doing my makeup. And I literally worked at a front desk at a car dealership, and I would go in full glam every day when I was like 20 years old. And I loved makeup and I loved beauty because I loved making the world beautiful. And I became a hairdresser because I wanted to help people. And it just wasn't my avenue to help people. I think this is my avenue to help people. So thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I really appreciate it. And remember, be the light, be the change. It all starts with you, and you've got this. You just got to keep going. That's it. Bye, guys.